Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Getting into this whole fake Sarah, aka Kristen, pretending to be Sarah, breaking Xander's heart. I gotta be honest, it was so difficult watching this scene, and not because it was sad or anything like that. It just seems so... It's like the writers were sitting there thinking of ways to shake up Days, and this was their answer. The most convoluted plot, and this matches, typical soap operas to an extent. But come on, seriously? Kristen decides to use some sort of fake mask to pretend to be Sarah to break Xander's heart so that way Kristen continue with her BS plan. Let me just remind people of how stupid this plan is. Okay? Her whole plan of breaking out of jail is to make sure Chloe doesn't get close to Brady. Now, here's my whole thing. If Brady is just the type to go for anyone with cleavage and a nice voice, what happens when the next Chloe Lane comes along? What are you going to do? You're just going to break out of prison again and be like, alright, cool, let's just do it over again. I don't really understand her end game, and to be honest, I was thinking about this when I was at work, and I was like, you're doing all this to keep Brady. What happens when he finds out you did all this? Do you honestly think he's going to be pleased? You think he's going to sit there and love you? I mean, I'm not going to lie. Saying that sounds kind of dumb, considering that he still loves a woman who stabbed his grandfather in the heart. And yet you can still sit there and say that you love this woman. I don't think I'm ever going to really fully understand the dynamic of Brady and Kristen. I mean, not fully. I mean, listen. You take her sociopathic, crazy tendencies away, Kristen is very dominating. That could be pretty hot in certain situations. So I get that part, but really, Brady? At this point, I don't even know if he can forgive her for this. But let's just sit there and say that he can't. Kristen, you did all this work. You broke up a happy home. You broke up two people that loved each other. And in the end, you got caught and you lost a man that you were sitting there trying to do all this crap for. Was it really worth it? So yeah, it just kind of plays out just like that. She tries to lie her way through Xander about how she can never forgive him for what he did X amount of months or years ago, and then she starts trying to defend Kristen, and even Xander's like, I'm sorry, what? What is going on? But bottom line, she convinces him. Rex comes upstairs and it's like, you can be out, you can be gone. And at this point, Xander leaves. Rex tries to kiss her twice, and she pushes him away. But she's like, well, we can leave. We could just go together. We could just, just leave town together. He's like, yeah, okay, cool. Rex, I would sit there and say, what's wrong with you? But he cheated on the same girl twice. So I don't imagine how much brain cells he has left. But I mean, you really, and he must be really delusional, okay? Because he cheated on this woman twice. And then this said woman calls him up and decides to hook up with him again and says that, let's leave town together. But every time I try to kiss her twice, she just pushes me away. Is this guy just a true idiot? Because I don't really understand. Anyway, plot goes. Here's the thing. I'm gonna sit there and throw my little guess, my little theories. Okay. Well, Sarah is not there trying to do her best to get out of, being locked up. My theory is that by the time that Sarah gets out, Xander's gonna be so heartbroken that he's gonna wind up hooking up with Gwen. And I feel like this is gonna be another B&B situation where Sarah gets out, Gwen finds out that she's pregnant, and she's going to wonder who's the father of the child. Is it going to be Chad? Is it going to be Xander? This is just my little guess, okay? Because that's the only way I can see whatever this is just moving forward. Side question. Is Rex's mom Kate? Just kind of curious. So, Jake and Gabby go at it for a little bit. Pretty much Gabby's like, y'all can move out if y'all want. I'm not going anywhere. And they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And at this point, Gabby accidentally drops her robe in front of Jake. This is after, of course, she keeps taunting him like, you're going to regret this. You're going to regret losing me, yada, yada, yada. Okay, yeah, we get it. This isn't... there's a fine line between confidence and whatever the hell she has. But after she taunts him, like somebody who is 16 would do, she accidentally drops her robe right in front of Jake. Kate just walks right on in. So at this point, he picks up the robe. They go at it a little bit more. She jumps in the shower. Kate and Jake talk, and Jake wants to leave the DiMeros. Kate thinks it's a bad idea, one, for power, if Shin sees that, he's going to look at it as a sign of weakness or whatever, and also it's going to look like, she ran them out the house. So she convinces them to stay, and then she goes and meets Rex. And then Gabby comes back out, and Jake is still there for some odd reason. Talking about, I was just doing a butler a favor. No, you really weren't. Bro, I feel like this guy is doing everything that he can. Everything that he can to try to fight his feelings for Gabby. Okay? And listen, I am not Gabby's biggest fan, as everyone knows. But, everything else aside, Gabby's on point. Gabby's on point. Gabby could be the type of person that could just, I don't know, even her off day, she would look amazing. Okay? And at this point, he is doing everything he can to try to fight his feelings, to run away from his feelings for Gabby. And at the end of the day, the only person he's out there going to wind up hurting is Kate. That's the truth of the matter. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Abigail and Chad. Now, we all know how I feel about Chad. This being said, I am 100% on Chad's side. Drop this damn vendetta that you have against Gwen. Abigail, listen, we all get it. She screwed you over. You want to screw her back over. Alright? If it was just you and her, no kids or whatever, I could see you sitting there going 5 to 10 rounds. But you have kids, you just kidnapped this woman, you can go to jail, he could lose their mother, he could lose his wife. It's not worth it. There's back and forth between Chad and Abigail. He finally breaks through. And I'm like, listen, I am not normally on this guy's side. So when I am, there's a damn good reason for, and you know what, I love how they just keep sitting there saying, like, Abigail was like, she did so much to me, she, broke up my parents' marriage, she killed my grandmother, she seduced you. I was like, so, this guy being plowed with a bunch of alcohol, and she taking advantage of him, that counts as seduction? Because I'm pretty sure that's not how seduction works. And the sad part is that, listen, if he didn't actually have any alcohol in him, like enough to the point where he just wanted to screw anything, and, you know, I guess to some people she looks pretty or whatever. I'm not saying that she looks bad, but like after what she was doing, it just personally grossed me out. But with that being said, yeah, if she didn't, you know, if Chad wasn't drunk when he did this, then I could be like, yes, she seduced him. But he's like, I'm sorry, and I'm like, how are you sorry and you were drunk out of your mind when you had sex with her? But it's almost as though the writers want to keep something they're saying seduction just to, like, I don't know, either hypnotize the audience or any new person that's coming in to sit there and watch and be like, oh yeah, you know, Chad was he was a terrible person, and he was a snake, and he was a cheater or whatever. And it was like, if you go back and you watch that scene, and you watch him chug down that champagne like it's sparkling water, you can clearly see that there was no seduction. There was a woman that took advantage of a drunken man, and we all know what that's called. I am not going to say it, and I kind of suggest people in the comments don't really say that. Kind of use something else for it if you're going to do it, because one too many times I've seen YouTube just, well, blip out comments for little to no reason. And I really hate that because I love reading the comments. So if we're going to use that word, let's just kind of, I don't know, use it in, like, use a substitute for it. Now with that being said, he breaks through and she decides to not do her whole vendetta thing. Now on the other side of town, you got Gwen. You know, Bonnie was there for so little time. And even though she looked really good, how much did she get paid? Because she didn't really do anything once she was with Jack. Anyway, she leaves. Gwen, it's just, I don't even know what to sit there and say about this woman. But, she pretty much, in a lot of ways, tells Jack what happens. Now, first, Jack doesn't believe about the whole, you know, kidnapping her and trying to stab her with the syringe or whatever. But then she throws in Gabby's name and is like, Gabby, save me. Gabby thought that she went too far. If Gabby thought she went too far, we got a problem. With that being said, since you held me to these same standards of me not pursuing Abigail, are you going to hold her to those same standards? Like, if she continues to pursue me, are you going to cut her out of your life? Now, I'm not going to lie, I felt like that was kind of a, I understand where she's coming from to some extent, but I felt like that was manipulation, you know? And Jack feeling so guilty about stuff that he couldn't control way back when, I feel like he's going to be forced into doing what Gwen says, because Gwen is also his daughter, and he feels bad, and she is taking advantage of the situation. Literally, that's it. Anyway, Kristen is, you know, on cloud 9 about, you know, her little plan of whatever. Now, Sarah has been trying to, I don't know, get out of his door the whole time. I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting there saying yesterday, when she finally broke free, I was like, oh no, I wonder if the door's gonna be locked. And she runs to the door, and the door's locked, and I'm like, oh no. I totally did not see this. Everyone saw this coming, and I don't think anyone should have been really happy yesterday when she broke free of the crap job that, you know, Kristen decided to tie her up in. But anyway, she goes through these fantasies of her marrying Xander, and I'm just like, okay, alright, cool. But eventually she picks up the syringe that Abigail was going to use on Gwen. She's like, what is this? and she pours some on her hand for some odd reason. I'm like, sweetheart, you're a doctor. Why would you just sit there and take a syringe of something that you don't know and start putting it on your hand? And then she smells it. I'm like, sir, how is wrong with you? Anyway, she's like, well, maybe this is my ticket out of here. Now, Kristen comes right through the door. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is your chance, Sarah, to run out the damn house. Nah, I'm just going to sit there and try to fight someone who is damn near an Amazonian compared to me. So she lunged at her with the syringe, and now they're struggling for the syringe, and, you know, it's Cliffhanger Fridays. We all know what's going to end up happening. Listen, I don't know Kristen that much, but maybe it's her built, but she seems like she can handle herself. So whatever this fight is going on, it's not going to really last too long. And I'm pretty sure Kristen is going to get the upper hand because Kristen has been a villain for way too long. Yeah. Xander comes back to the house. Jack's like, what's going on? Did you find her? And, you know, Xander's like, yep, I found her with someone else. Because how even he couldn't believe the fact that, you know, Sarah chose Rex, a guy who cheated on her twice, over Xander. Over him. But, I mean, he saw it with his own eyes, and apparently, the face mask could, you know, it can make an exact height and body build and head shape. What are you using magic with that thing? I'm sorry, but I don't. Let me see if I missed anything. I think that's about it, more or less. If I miss anything, write it down in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, everyone. Thank you again for watching, if I haven't said that enough. And I will catch you in the next video. Have a great weekend.